Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about integers and what they are. This video is meant to serve as an introduction to integers so you can get an idea of what they are and what to look for. If you want to know more about integers, you can check out more videos on my page about that. But without further much ado, let's go right into our lesson. So starting off strong, it is important that we know what an integer is. And to simply put it, an integer are everyday numbers that you see, but they can either be positive or negative. Now, some of these numbers could include, for example, -10, -2, 8, or even 91. These are all integers. We see these numbers every day in our lives in one way or another, and these are all integers. These are common numbers, just some have a negative sign and some of them are positive. Now, there is one important thing you must know about integers. You cannot write them as decimals or fractions, and they cannot be that either. Integers are whole numbers and they are solely that. They can have a negative sign or a positive sign, but they cannot be a decimal or fraction. That would take away from its characteristic of being a integer. Going even further, integers can be on a number line. And this is another way to verify an integer. So for example, I have this number line. I have -5 through +5. As you see, I also have 0 in the middle. I do want to say that 0 is an integer. Yes, it is a valid number, but it's a neutral number. Okay, it does not have a opposite number. -5 and 5 are opposite of each other, and they are the same numbers, just one has negative and one has a positive. This is their counterparts. They are counterparts of each other. Likewise to 1 and -1. They are the same numbers, just one is a negative and one is a positive. They are counterparts. 0 does not have a counterpart. It is neutral, just so you know. And that's basically integers on a number line. And this number line could go on for infinity numbers that there is. It can even go up to the billions, as long as it's a whole number without a decimal, okay, or fraction. It has to be a whole number. Now, there are some things to know about integers. And as I said previously, every integer has its opposite counterpart. For example, -1 is opposite of +1. It's a counterpart. Every negative has a positive, and every positive has a negative. Another thing to note is that negative numbers are smaller than positive numbers. They decrease on the left. Positive numbers increase on the right, and we see this on our number line. This goes for any number line. Positives are always going to be on the right, and negatives are always going to be on the left. A third thing to know about integers is that negative integers are represented by a negative sign. So make sure if you're writing a negative integer, make sure to include that negative sign. And this is especially used in algebraic equations, which I have in other videos of mine about integers, if you want to check them out. And positive integers do not need a sign, but if you are doing an algebraic expression, some people add them and some people automatically don't. Either way is still a positive. It's really that negative sign that you must be watching for. And the last thing to know about integers is that there are more rules for integers discussed in depth on my other videos, which once again applies to algebraic terms. But that is all for today's video. I hope you guys could take something away from this, and I will see you guys next time. So this is Ari, the math tutor, signing out. Bye.